What's good, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. Man, bro needs some fucking catnip. I swear to God. Nah, he too hyper. Even when he laying down, he hyper as hell. But shout out Jeff Fabiano, but that ain't what we gonna be reacting to today. Shout out Drugstore Films. Damn, I can't remember the TW documentary. Go check that out, man. I ain't really got nothing to talk about though. Long live all these people. Especially this old man over here, cause that's fucked up. I ain't gonna lie to you.
And I got a lot of focus. Tell them I got a lot, BJ.
They know. Y'all know. Y'all not supposed to get busy, don't y'all?
Just free, how many y'all think? Dolly, stop there. Nah, you can't.
Hey, look.
How many though?
What y'all think? Or y'all think this ass all cap?
More than 5.
P-Roy and King Von were.
That's crazy. He on live talking about bodies. How many bodies you think I got? That's crazy.
known to be O-Block top shooters. The two had allegedly put in a lot of work for the gang. In 2012, they were allegedly involved in over 20 shootings and 7 murders. They helped make O-Block a feared set. After O.D. Perry was killed, Wake City began looking weak. Members of STLEBT let KI claim the body. For years, many believed that O.D. Perry was killed by a 14-year-old girl. The bigger Chief Keef God, the deadlier the War God. O-Block became the most famous gang in Chicago. Drill fans believed that O-Block was one of the most dangerous places in the world. The ops did their best to expose the gang. But T-Roy and King Von made that hard to do. The two kept O-Block relevant in the streets by constantly sliding on their ops.
Papa, that goonie.
Look, this is the thing, y'all don't know T-Roy. Y'all gotta see our history of T-Roy, y'all don't know.
This is their story.
Now, why you gotta add them loud ass gunshots in it, bro? What the fuck? Oh shit.
James Johnson was born October 30th, 1993 in Chicago, Illinois. He grew up in Parkway Gardens with his 2 brothers and sister. His older brother Slutty claimed Ada Park. Wake City wasn't formed yet. Parkway was a fun place to hang out. Gang members from all over the city had friends, family members, and even girlfriends who lived there. Most of the gang members were black disciples. A lot of T-Roy family members grew up in Parkway Gardens as well. T-Roy enjoyed dancing and playing with his friends at the time. He would eventually become good friends with people such as Whitey, J-Money, E-Dog,
Hey.
Chief Keef, among others.
Did you leave the store yet?
King Von moved to Parkway Gardens with his mother and her
Drinks
boyfriend in
and papers.
2009. At the time, Von claimed Kilowart. He didn't know anyone in Parkway at the time. One of the first people he met there was Whitey. Whitey lived in the building next to Von.
You just
King
pulled
Von
back
didn't
up to the
stop hanging
store?
around his friends from Kilowart. Kilowart is a mostly gangster
but you're
disciple
not
set.
going back to get
Von
back.
and several other members were black disciples. A few Kilowart members were
Okay.
friends with FBG Duck and other STL members. Von
And he
quickly
went to
became
get the
friends with the
papers.
shorties in
That's the
Parkway
whole reason he
Gardens.
went to.
This was in the beginning of Wake City days.
That's crazy.
At the time, O.D. Perry was
Nope.
allegedly the gang's top
That's
shooter,
crazy.
and was
Alright,
also
love
allegedly
you.
a top shooter for Buff City. He claimed both Wake City and Buff City. All the shorties in Parkway Gardens looked up to him. Although King Von didn't claim Wake City at the time, he became close to many of the young members. Kilowar didn't have a problem with Von hanging out with Wake City, but STL and Jarrow City did. Butta and a few other Jarrow City members knew about Von hanging out with Wake City, but kept it a secret. Von didn't claim Wake City at the time, he became close to many of the young members. Kilowar didn't have a problem with Von hanging out with Wake City, but
I'd run that back real quick because Um, if y'all don't know, y'all should know if y'all on this shit. Cause if you don't know, man, you gotta go do your research on my soul. But Vaughn was hanging out with O Block when he was from Killer Ward. Butter, I think the documentary said that Butter was hanging out with O Block too, but that was the whole problem. Butter didn't like that. Oh God.
yall and Jarrow City did. Buddha and a few other Jarrow City members knew about Von hanging out with Wick City, but kept it a secret. One day after school, Von gets into it with a Jarrow City member on the school bus. The Jarrow City member calls up FBG Buddha and tell him to beat up Von. Buddha, along with FBG Duck, Brick and other Jarrow City STL-EBT members, rushed to the bus stop to jump Von. When the school bus stopped to let off the students, Buddha and Brick allegedly made the driver turn off the bus, and Buddha jumped on King Von. According to Buddha, Von wasn't scared to fight. After beating Von up on the bus, Buddha and the other Jarrow City STL-EBT members wanted to kill a 16-year-old Von, but luckily members of Killer Ward were present to save him. The tug-of-war match took place between Killer Ward and Jarrow City STL-EBT members. Von was the rope. As both sides were pulling on Von, STL members such as Medell punches Von in the face multiple times, leaving bruises. Luckily, the police came to the scene and broke it up. This was the end of King Von and Duck's friendship. Von made it back to Parkway Garden.
That's just so funny though, how quick that was like, yeah, jump on. Like, you friends, right? And that shit, yeah, jump. Quick as hell.
With a body full of bruises. He wanted revenge. In January...
Hey, this shit's not funny, but I'm sorry for all the pauses, but this shit is not funny because it's real life. This is not a movie. But he the villain, and we figured out his fucking origin story, man. I did the other day. But yeah, this was his motherfucking origin story, bro. I think I'm saying that right. Bro got jumped and turned into a demon.
Of 2011, King Von Gullen served 13 months in juvenile detention for violating court orders. While he was serving time, the war on the streets was escalating. O.D. Perry and Tuka were both killed. Wick City was now known as O Block. This is when T-Roy began making a name for himself. It started off with him protecting the neighborhood. T-Roy stood only 5 feet tall and weighed around 110 pounds. He was too small to be a fighter.
Okay,
T-Roy was one of the first shorties in O Block to play with guns. In December of 2011, T-Roy allegedly catch his first body. 16-year-old Dale Fisher was shot and killed walking to the store with a friend when a silver car pulled up and a gunman leaned out and opened fire. Dale was shot several times in the chest. He was pronounced dead at John H. Stroger Jr. Hospital of Cook County shortly after. T-Roy was now a killer. When Von was released in 2012, he was impressed with the work T-Roy put in. At this time, Von didn't have any bodies and wasn't known to be a savage. He began claiming O Block and hanging out with Whitey. Von quickly made a name for himself in O Block by fighting. Once other members such as BJ, Boss Top, J Money all seen that Von was willing to fight anyone, they took a liking to him.
Feeding your dog nutrition.
Wu-Tang needs heat or you're dead in the water.
This do or die. Killer be killed.
On April 28, 2012, T-Roy allegedly catches his second body. 21-year-old Marlon Monroe, also known as Doc from EBT, was shot and killed walking to the store. After doing a painting job for a family member, Doc was walking to the store to get a drink when a car pulled up and a gunman leaned out and opened fire, striking Doc in the chest. Doc stumbled and fell into a patch of tall weeds in an empty lot next to the store and died. His body was found by...
Man, I gotta say this every time just because how the shit played out. Imagine you walking home, bro, and then seeing your cousin like that, bro. I mean, an innocent person, you know, it's still gonna be fucked up, but it's like, you know, I don't know who the fuck that is. You know, that shit's sad, but I don't know who the fuck that is. But it's your own people, bro.
By his younger cousin Medell hours later.
Damn. I didn't even know it was Modell that found him. Are you sure drugstore film? Some guy, are you sure? That don't mean it was the dog, though.
Tiroy now allegedly had 2 bodies. Dale and Doc were both killed in drive-by shootings. This is when Tiroy became O Block's top shooter. His name began ringing bells in the streets. On August 8, 2012, Tiroy allegedly catches his 3rd body. 28-year-old Terrell Joshua, also known as Dirty Rel, was shot and killed around 3:30 in the morning. Later that day, Jero City went out and got revenge. King Von was hanging out with Whitey and other O Block members in Parkway Gardens. It was the day before Von's 18th birthday. At around 11:28 p.m., Von and Whitey made a run to the store on the 6300 block of King Drive. Whitey stood outside in front of the store while Von went in. 2 or 3 minutes later, 50 shots from Jero City runs up and opened fire. A bullet struck Whitey in the back. Some police officers were sitting on the corner patrolling the area. They witnessed the whole thing and went after 50 shots. 50 shots allegedly began shooting at the officers, but was quickly shot and forced to surrender. Whitey was later pronounced dead at Stroger Hospital of Cook County. He was 19 years old. After Whitey was killed, King Von and Tiroy became close friends. The two began sliding together, and Von would eventually catch his first body. King Von allegedly caught his first body in September of 2012, a month after Whitey was killed. The person he killed is unknown. On October 13, 2012, King Von catch his second body. It was on a Saturday night. Von along with Tiroy and J Money were out looking for ops. They decided to go to the 6300 block of roads. At around 9:30 p.m., Medell along with his cousin Miles, Richie Jerk and Lil P were standing in front of a house talking to a female. When King Von ran up and shot Medell several times in the chest. As Miles tried to rescue his younger cousin, King Von shoots him 5 times. Miles and Medell both were rushed to the hospital. Miles luckily survived, but Medell was later pronounced dead. He was 17 years old. King Von hated STL. Not only for killing his friends, but for jumping him back in 2010. People such as Medell, FBG Duck, Brick, Budda and even Tuka was on Von's hit list for a long time. He was now ready to bully the Tukaville gang. At the time, STL had only 2 real killers in the crew, and they wasn't as active as Von and Tiroy. Shooting up Tukaville was a piece of cake for Von and Tiroy. Every other day they slid on their ops just to have something to do. The two weren't hustlers. For money they would rob drug dealers or break in homes. King Von kept a girlfriend with a job and car. He would often use their cars to do hits.
I hope that shit not real. But you know, cause bro, it ain't like the movies how you can just go steal a car whenever you want to. I mean, I guess it is, but I don't know, man. But using the same car, going on different hits. Shorty get pulled over, bro. What you mean out there? Man, she gonna be like, what the fuck? Unless she knows something, she might know, but. Man, Von wild as hell with all them tweets, though, man. I ain't gonna lie. That shit is dead.
King Von was now a killer. Shortly after killing Medell, Von went to social media and informed everyone that he's no longer hanging out with Tiroy because Tiroy was winning. This is when Von became a member of 600. He became close to members such as D. Rose, C. Day, L.A. Capone, Memo, and several other of the older members of 600. On October 30th of that year, just weeks after Medell was killed, King Von along with members of 600 allegedly shot and killed P5 Crack from Jero City. The whole thing was allegedly set up by J Money. P5 Crack was allegedly in a relationship with J Money's child mother. At around 9:13 in the morning, P5 Crack was shot 16 times outside of his apartment. He was pronounced dead at around 9:35 at John H. Stroger Jr. Hospital. P5 Crack was 23 years old.
Hello.
This was King Von's third body. He was now caught up with T-Roy.
Okay.
On November 8th of that year,
Okay.
STL member Bostrel was shot and killed. Von and T-Roy pretty much claimed the body. But it was made clear by Bostrel friends and family that O Block didn't have anything to do with his murder.
Motherfucker just tried to eat my bib.
On the 19th of that month, King Von allegedly catches his fourth body. At around 8:20 p.m., a 32-year-old man by the name of James Holman was shot and killed. On November 20th, King Von went to jail for a gun possession. He wouldn't be released until February of 2014. While Von was serving for a gun possession. On November 20th, King Von went to jail for a gun possession. He wouldn't be released and street putting in work. In 2013, T-Roy allegedly catch his fourth body. In November of that year, T-Roy and Big A was allegedly shooting a KI and accidentally shot an innocent man who was sitting at the bus stop.
Man, long live you, Billy. On myself.
"2013 was a huge year for O Block. Chief Keef was now a star. He had just signed a $6 million deal with Interscope Records. T-Roy and other O Block members felt like stars as well. O Block was now the biggest thing in Chicago. A whole lot of jealousy began taking place in the city. Many other gangs wanted to be affiliated with O Block for clout. Killing someone from O Block was a big deal. Their circle has always been small. BJ, Boss Top, C Murder, Duke, E-Dog, J Money, Trey 5, Big A, and T-Roy were pretty much the top members at the time. Chief Keef wasn't able to move them all out of the hood, so they were still living in O Block and going to war.
Shorty them ain't not here. Oh, he got pop on.
Oh, now how you know that was T-Roy though? Oh God, I've seen that video like. Sean, I've seen it before though, but how you know that's T-Roy? He said, "Oh." Man, long live Cash too, man. Oh God, that shit was sad as hell.
King Von was released from jail in February of 2014. Him and T-Roy immediately began sliding together. They wanted revenge for J Money. Lil B and K.I. were their main targets at the time. In March of that year, Lil Mark from 051 Young Money released drill classic No Competition. In the song, Lil Mark dissed deceased O Block 600 Lamra members. He even dissed OTF and Lil Reese. 3 days later, Lil Mark was allegedly shot and killed by a 600 member. King Von was allegedly there when the hit took place.
Hey, so took off 51st. Hey, so took off 51st.
Damn, body down.
Oh, not those things.
Body down. 51st gang.
Man, that.
The very next day, on March 29th, Lil B was shot and killed by the Chicago police. This was a major loss for EBT and STL both. Lil B was their #1 shooter. Around this time, C Murder was allegedly shot by Blood Money. O Block wanted revenge. On April 9th, King Von and T-Roy allegedly murdered Blood Money. This was allegedly both King Von and T-Roy's fifth body. At the time, T-Roy was on the run from the law. He turned himself in on April 11th, just 2 days after Blood Money was killed. On that same day, King Von killed K.I. in broad daylight. She was shot 7 times, including...
Damn. Now I gotta run that one back. See if T-Roy turned himself in for murder. But, shit. I don't know, because I've been hearing it a lot recently. I hope this ain't gonna be a 30-minute, video. But I've been hearing it a lot recently. That they did that shit, allegedly. But, I don't know, man. But that would make sense if Chief Keef ain't bring him out. Or say rip,
This was allegedly both King Von and T-Roy's fifth body.
But damn,
at the time, T-Roy was on the run from the law. He turned himself in on April 11th, just 2 days after Blood Money was killed. On that same day, King Von killed K.I. in broad daylight. She was shot 7 times, including into the neck and face. Smoke was still coming from her neck when the police arrived. FBG Buddha and a 34-year-old was shot as well. The 34-year-old man was transported to the hospital, and Buddha went home to his mother. He was afraid to go to the hospital because he had warrants. King Von tried his best to kill FBG Buddha that day, but Buddha managed to escape with a broken knee. Von was arrested for K.I.'s murder but was released days later when witnesses changed their stories. This was King Von's 6th body in only 2 years. He was now a serial killer at the age 19. One thing each of his victims had in common is they were all shot several times. Von was now the man in O Block. He had more bodies than any other member at the time, including T-Roy. People from STLEBT snitched on Von about the K.I. murder. But that didn't matter to Von. He continued sliding and taunting the ops on social media. On May 29th of that year, King Von catches his 7th and final body. King Von was invited to an afternoon birthday party by a friend.
That is crazy, bro. Cause I'm just like, he says 7th and final body, and then like in my head it brought up this dude. Like, where's the body that he got arrested for, bro? And it was his fucking 7th one that he got arrested for. Yeah, that's crazy. Police got to do better.
Everything was going okay until Von spotted 2 of his ops. After exchanging words with the ops, Von leaves and pick up Big Mike. He told a partygoer on the phone that he'd be back and advised them to take the children inside. Minutes later, King Von returned to the party. Him and Big Mike cut through an alley behind the house. Just when Malcolm Stuckey stepped onto the sidewalk to smoke a cigar, Von and Big Mike stepped out the cut. They was seen by one of the ops who was sitting on the porch. The op took off running. King Von began firing at him. As he chased down the ops, he shouted, "Why you running?" Big Mike shot one guy in the foot, and King Von shot the other op in the face, leaving him for dead. 19-year-old Malcolm Stuckey was shot 4 times, including in the head. He died on the scene.
No, he really was a serial killer though. Oh God. Like, I'm just talking about to his ops though. 'Cause like, I don't know, bro. If you got more than like 3 or 4 bodies, man, you a serial killer. But then, I don't know, I be feeling like a serial killer just does the shit because he likes it. And it be on regular people. Like, it be on innocents, man. It don't be on, the people that you actually got a problem with.
In July of 2014, King Von was arrested for the murder of Malcolm Stuckey. This was the end of his killing spree. While Von was serving time, T-Roy continued putting work in on the streets. He didn't catch any more bodies that we're aware of, but it's safe to say he shot a few more people.
And y'all here?
T-Roy and Von stayed in touch with each other. At the time,
like
Von was fighting for his life and was in need for a good lawyer. T-Roy did his best to come up with lawyer money. Unfortunately, he was shot and killed by TB on February 14, 2017. He was 23 years old. This was a dark time for O Block members. T-Roy was just as loved as O.D. Perry. O-Block and 600 formed the Get Back Gang and got revenge for T-Roy. King Von could do nothing but cry in his cell. Big Mike decided not to rat on King Von and was charged with the shooting. He was sentenced to 28 years in prison. It took the Chicago police over a year to recover the murder weapon. After recovering the murder weapon, witnesses no longer wanted to testify against King Von. One witness was even shot and killed. Due to a lack of evidence, all charges were dropped, and King Von was released from Cook County Jail in December 6, 2017. Von started rapping in jail back in 2014, but didn't take it serious. Many don't know that Wooski from STL is the main person who inspired Von to rap. The two hung out in jail. In 2017, Wooski wrote his verses to computers in jail. Everyone knew that Wooski was about to be a star. This is when King Von started writing and taking rap serious. He knew that the streets would love him like they loved Wooski due to his street cred. Unlike Wooski, Von had connections. He began working with Lil Durk, and in August of 2018, King Von released his first song, Problems. By 2020, King Von was one of the biggest rappers in the game. He was now making millions of dollars. The war between O-Block and Tookaville could have ended right then and there. It was clear that FBG Duck only wanted to make music and support his family. He even dropped Chicago Legends hoping to bring peace. But King Von had other plans. His hate for STL was too deep. Guerrilla music wasn't the same after FBG Duck was killed. He was the voice of the underdogs. Since 2011 we watch him fight his way in the game. Some call him the Rocky Balboa of drill. No matter how hard his ops came at him on wax, Duck always managed to come back even harder. He helped make drill what it is today.
Hey man, I think that's the end of it. It's just, you know, King Von pictures and shit. But that shit crazy, bro. It was in 2020, man. It still feels the same, man. You gonna lie to you, bro. Like, you know, of course that was a long time ago, but shit still feel the same, man. I ain't gonna lie. I knew this shit was gonna be like almost 30 minutes, but hopefully y'all fuck with it and go check out my recents, man.